Hello, today is Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2020. Allow me to begin by wishing you a Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach, a happy Israeli Independence Day. And what better place to celebrate the birthday of the State of Israel here at Bevis Marks than at the seat of Sir Moses Montefiore, who gave so much during his life to the establishment of Jewish life in the Holy Land. In fact, he traveled there 7 times in the middle of the 19th century. And this was his seat here in the synagogue. It's been cordoned off ever since his passing as a sign of respect for all that he had done. The seat is the closest seat in the synagogue to the Heichal, to the Holy Ark. And Sir Moses would walk to Bevis Marks every Shabbat from across London. He lived in Park Lane, all the way on the western part of town. It probably took him at least an hour and a half to make the walk each week. And so it's only on special occasions that dignitaries are invited to sit in the seat of Sir Moses. If there is going to be a Jewish Lord Mayor that particular year, then he's invited to sit in the seat of Sir Moses on the Friday night before the Lord Mayor show. In 2001, Prince Charles came to the synagogue to celebrate the 300th anniversary of the synagogue, and he sat here. In 2006, the Prime Minister, Tony Blair, was here to celebrate the 350th anniversary of Anglo Jewry. He was invited to sit in this seat, and other Israeli dignitaries or chief rabbis are often invited to sit in Sir Moses' seat as well. And then it's a sign of respect because, as I mentioned, Sir Moses gave so much during his life to the land of Israel. His first occasion traveling there, he went on pilgrimage, but having seen the plight of the Jewish communities there, really impoverished during that time, he decided he wanted to help and to support them. And so, for example, on another occasion when he went, he distributed funds to every single Jew in Israel individually. It was also a way for him to take a census of the Jewish population. But ultimately, he determined, according to the traditions of charity giving of Maimonides, or as well as perhaps as a good Victorian, that the best way to give charity was a way that would then allow the population to ultimately take care of themselves. And so he invested in different ventures that would help them to do just that. And so today we think of the orchards of Jaffa oranges or of looms that he helped to set up, or ultimately, perhaps the most famous because of the landscape of Jerusalem, is the famous windmill that he created in the city. That was there to allow the population to grind their own flour, or to sell it, to provide for themselves in that way. In fact, in front of the windmill, he established a neighborhood, Mishkenot Sha'ananim, and it was the first place that Jews lived outside of the Old City in Western Jerusalem. And so it really laid the groundwork for the creation of the modern Jerusalem that we know today. And so before Ben Gurion and before Theodor Herzl, Sir Moses Montefiore was already laying the roots for what would ultimately allow to blossom modern Jewish life in the land of Israel and lead to the creation of the state. But then as we move into the 20th century, another incredibly important figure for the history of Zionism was the Chacham of our community, Moses Gaster. In fact, it was in his home that the Balfour Declaration was written. He wrote it together with Chaim Weizmann as well as Lord Balfour, and ultimately that allowed the transition from Ottoman rule to British mandate to ultimately the creation of the modern state of Israel. And so here in London's Spanish and Portuguese community, we have a wonderful legacy of supporting, of visiting, of contributing towards the state of Israel in so many different and wonderful ways. And so I'm now going to recite for you the prayer that we recite for the state of Israel every Shabbat here at Bevis Marks, according to the tradition for how it is said in our synagogue. Mi sheberach avoteinu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Moshe, v'Aharon, v'David, u'Shlomo, hu yivarech et medinat Yisrael, et sareha, et yoatzeha, et chayaleha, v'et yosheveha, melech, malchei hamelachim berachamav, yidagnem be'etzah tova milefanav, v'yanuach al shochanei admat hakodesh, Ruach dat v'yirat Adonai, Sham chesed v'emet yipageshu lechol b'nei Adam, ki mala haaretz teya et Adonai, v'kayem banu mikrash hakaduv, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udvar Adonai mirushalayim, v'chen yihi ratzon v'nomar, Amen. Happy Yom Ha'atzmaut.